Did you know that Kiki? First of all, does either of you know who Kiki Palmer is?
I do know.
Of course I do.
Okay, you do. Okay, so Kiki Palmer.
It is funny though that you introduced her as an actress named Kiki Palmer, blah blah blah, because really the theme of the story is more relevant than she is.
Per usual.
I did not know who Kiki Palmer was, but I found this story fascinating, partially because of what we've been discussing right now. Like we were just talking about private and public social media platforms, and the idea of privacy in general, and how it kind of correlates to modern day celebrity, where you're increasingly have less and less privacy because you're either always on social media, and when you're in public, people are always going to have a phone to put in your face. And I find all of these topics kind of really interesting. So it says, Kiki Palmer gets candid about being filmed by a fan against her will. My privacy was invaded, she says. So it says the actress is setting boundaries. Now I'm going to be open here. I have I know it's a little bit weird, but childish maybe, but like when I hear stuff like setting boundaries, it always comes off like
the language.
is
I'm very pop psychology.
It's very feminine.
Thank you.
Silly.
Yes, it feels like I read it off of
just like gaslighting, love bombing, etc.
I feel like I read it off an infographic on Instagram.
Yeah.
Love bombing is hilarious. Love bombing is hilarious.
Before we get started, tell everybody what love bombing is for the people watching who have no clue what that is.
You explain it to me, so please.
When someone's really nice to you because they like you, that's love bombing, and it's actually toxic.
Yep.
Incredible.
It's like, I mean, it's the same thing. Love bombing is the same thing as what was the other one that we were just talking about?
Not
gaslighting, but love bombing, gaslighting, and there's a third one that I always forget that they always talk.
Gatekeeping.
Not now. All of these are terms for things, but love bombing is my favorite because it's like even when you do something nice, you're doing something bad.
But does love bombing mean like male feminist? How like they're like creepers?
I mean,
and then,
okay, theoretically, they're saying that it's an insincere expression of affection to manipulate somebody into trusting you when you're not trustworthy.
So it's not like, but really it's not friendship.
They're just pinning that on any situation where they want to portray somebody as
hyper projection,
an abuser.
No, but I think it's talking about something very specific. Then I know it's used as like this person's being nice to me, thus a threat, but ultimately what it's supposed to mean is like when someone's being disingenuous and giving you a lot of compliments in order to manipulate you, right?
Yeah, I kind of. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what it should mean, but it's being weaponized as like you're being
just
nice
onto
to me.
normal human behavior.
Exactly.
Yep. Okay. So the article says Kiki Palmer is quite the sought-after actress these days, coming off of the stand-up performance in 2019's Hustlers, hosting Disney Plus's food sculpting competition, Foodtastic, which was an acting exercise in itself. She began to what is sure to be a huge 2022 with the release of Alice. As her star continues to rise, there's little doubt her recognizability factor is also increasing, and Palmer has spoken out about the following incident where a fan filmed her against her will. So this is something celebrities, stories of celebrities and paparazzi have been going on for as long as time. There was an article we covered yesterday about Mike Tyson, about him punching the guy in the airplane, and like a guy who weighed in on him on that story was a paparazzi photographer who like Mike Tyson beat up in the 90s, who said like this guy got off lucky. So this is not something new, this type of invasive material.
But it's more invasive now that just the average fan has a camera in their pockets, when usually like they would just come up to you with a pen and be like, sign this thing, like sign this piece of paper, please. Not be shoving a camera in your face like normally like a paparazzi would.
And it's weird because to me, I was like, at least when the paparazzi did it, it was like you understood that it was like a form of, it was like a transaction. It was business.
That was their job. Yeah,
it was business. When people
if you're just harassing someone for the fun of it, that's not really as sympathetic, right?
Not even for the fun of it, but just because you have like this weird unnatural attachment, which I do think is very prevalent in society today. That more and more we've gotten into this place where people worship. I'm not saying it's weird. There's less movie stars than there have ever been, but celebrity worship, in my opinion, has never been higher.
No way.
I disagree. Maybe that's a concentrated group of the population, but people who they love these people and they will go up to them and do something like this.
I think this is the era of like the emperor has no clothes. Like we're just constantly learning that like the highest and most beloved people Like they are the worst among us.
Yeah, but we see that. I don't know if I buy
that.
The
Celebrity worship. It's just the parasocial relationship that makes us see each other as friends
more accessible than you actually are.
So it's not really like deifying them.
Yeah. Okay. Then maybe the social media has blurred the lines between what is socially acceptable,
like what's
between
personal anymore.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I've seen women tweet as they give birth. You know, like there is not
your birth.
Oh my God. I don't even want to get into it, but like, I have some very like intimate stories about that. And it's a person that I love, and there's no way to explain to her, like, how could you ever share this deeply impersonal moment?
So they go in and they describe all the things, the projects she's had come out this year and stuff that she's got coming out. And then it says, well, all of this may mean less anonymity when she's out and about. Palmer still expects fans to respect her privacy. She recently took to Twitter detailing an unfortunate fan interaction. No means no, even when it doesn't pertain to sex. Yes, that's, yeah. I was at a bar the other day and this girl asked me
quite an opener.
Yes, it is. And this girl asked me 3 times for a picture and I told her 3 times nicely that I did not want to take one with her. She still proceeded to film me against my will. The funny thing is, she's right. She has every right to say no to this person. But it's like, I just don't know what to say. Like, I don't think there's a way around this anymore.
There isn't. Welcome to people.
You're not going to be, it's kind of going to be one of those things where when you've accepted a role in a major movie or a major television show, that is your life now. And you have to find a way to come to terms with it. If what that means is that she sets clear boundaries, says, look, that's inappropriate, and then has to risk, being labeled as the bad guy, which is what would have happened if anything bad had happened in the situation, she would have been the bad guy. So that's the life she's chosen by being in the public eye.
Anonymous fans have nothing to lose in the situation, but the actress would have gotten negative publicity for standing up for herself.
Which is an interesting inverse from social media, where the celebrities have all of the power, because people always talk about, like, when celebrities clap back at people. The problem with that is that when a celebrity ats some nobody on Twitter, then every of the millions of people that follow that celebrity,
it's all the other nobodies that are the problem, not them.
Yeah. They're going to go after them.
They learn that this is the behavior I can do to get attention.
But the person,
that's why Twitter's a shitstorm, because everyone's trying to like have their 5 minutes in the sun.
Yeah. So you say, or you criticize some celebrity, and it doesn't matter how milquetoast it is. It doesn't matter how polite you are. If that celebrity takes offense to that on that day, and they respond to you, it's going to show up in their feed, and then all of those stands are going to go after that person, and that person's never going to have a regular day on the internet again. So you have to decide, like, when you respond to this person, is your need to clap back at this celebrity worth what could happen if that person gets angry and responds and then sends all their, not on purpose, but they know that that's what's going to happen, whether they do it on purpose or not. They know that the outcome of their their choice to clap back at that nobody is that their fans will go after them. So you as a purveyor of social media have to decide whether that's worth it to you. And it's like, maybe it's just foreign to me because it makes no sense, because I want nothing to do with anything like that. Those types of interactions. Some people live for it. Some people love that type of back and forth, like relationship on the internet. I hate it. I don't know if that's something you guys.
You mean the antagonistic back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to watch.
You love it. You love it. Yeah. So it says, it sounds utterly absurd that after the actress politely declined a photo 3 times, that fans still disrespected her by taking a video. Just because you like Keke Palmer as an actress doesn't mean you're entitled to her personal time. And this fan asked 3 times. The first no should have been enough. The worst part is that the actress knew if she got upset, she would be blamed for the incident, not the person bothering her. And she's absolutely right in this respect. She would have been, I mean, I don't know how much she would have been. I don't know what that incident would have been in this case, but it's like, I'm sure this is why a lot of the bigger name celebrities become more isolated, because they can't go out into public and have normal interactions, and they just kind of accept that that's their life now.
I mean, imagine being Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And like every single bro that sees you is like, you're my hero, because he's the only like actual male.
Yeah.
Like out there right now.
I did find this funny at the end. It's not really relevant to the rest of the article, but it says, if you want to check out the actress, in a socially acceptable way. You can catch her in Lightyear, which is scheduled for theatrical release on June 17th. That is like the funniest virtue signal I've ever seen, in like thrown into some commas or some, you know what I mean? Like they had to throw in there you can't just be checking people out. You have to be checking them out in the right way.
Vlogger's gonna
you want to be a real fan.
Yes. You're gonna respect them. You're gonna respect them when you're talking to them. So Dane, me and you have had more than a few conversations about privacy and what that means. So you obviously get where she's coming from, where the actress is coming from, but do you think it kind of ignores the reality of what her life is like now after starring in several hit properties?
As a world-renowned fame sensation, I do like empathize with her, but athletes hate their leg cramps. They love that they play sports for a living, but they hate that their body's tired.
Yeah.
Actors love the fame, but like it's not something you can turn on and off.
Only they love it on their terms.
Right.
They don't want to accept the bad that comes with the good.
But you don't. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't get that. So you know what I mean? Like, what can I tell you?
So how many, the question is for we won't use her as an example, but for every celebrity that does say that they don't want to be bothered, how many times have they, has their ego felt like they needed the stroking and signed an autograph or two and felt like it boosted their self-esteem in that moment? You don't get to just choose the times when you want to be asked. You have to accept that you're going. That
opens the floodgates.
Yeah.
But as a thought exercise, why is this profession in particular, besides the fact that they're public facing, like why do they owe us their time? Like doctors are public facing.
Yeah.
Like people see them every day. Like why does why does a celebrity owe me like their time?
They don't, but the doctor is not what. This is where I get back to celebrity worship. I'm saying that people don't worship doctors, even though they'd be better off worshiping a surgeon.
Some people worship doctors.
Yes, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah.
But for the average normal person is not going to like look at a guy who's like an OBGYN.
Can I get a picture?
Can I get a picture? No.
But I just think it's hilarious. Like, oh my God, you're my favorite pretender.
Yeah.
Like,
well, if we really like respected them as artists and what they make, I don't think people would act like that. But everyone knows that they're shallow and they're not creating anything of value. So
I have a weird connection these days to. I see it as like people don't necessarily worship the actors. It's more that they worship the characters that they play. So you don't love that actress. They love this role where you portrayed that character. And there's this weird line blurring between where reality ends and the story begins. And people have a hard time disentangling that actor from that role that they love because that property rang so true to them or whatever it may be meant a lot to them. So
or like detaching it from who they were at the time that they consumed that media, which is like a whole other can of worms that we are like.
But listen,
the milestones of our lives are marked with the things we consume,
which is sad.
Yeah.
I'm not impervious to this either. Like when I met Dave Smith, like the comedian, like I was like through the moon. But it wasn't like because he's like funny haha man. It's like he's funny haha man, and like I like him personally for what he stands for. He's the real ass dude. But I feel that people's, I guess, like relationship with celebrity is not that. It's not about the person, It's like, it's not who you are. It's who I think you are.
Yeah, well, it's the care. Like, so a lot of people who worship Robert Downey Jr. worship Iron Man. They don't necessarily worship Robert Downey Jr. Though he is a fantastic example of somebody who earned redemption in his own way, coming back from all the, the mistakes he made and then making a better life for himself, giving back to charity, all these things after having such troubles when he was younger. But they don't worship him for that. They worship him because they love Marvel and Marvel good, Iron Man good, so Robert Downey Jr. good. That's their thought process.
And it's like this conveyor belt of 21-year-olds that throw themselves at Leonardo DiCaprio, think he's Jack from Titanic and he's going to give you like the wooden plank to survive at the end. He's not. Like he's gonna sell you down the river the second your brain develops.
So the real question is, Dane, would Jack have survived if he had just gotten on the bed frame.
There
on
was
the
a
door frame.
I mean, there was probably
There was
another
room.
one. He should have looked, you know. He shouldn't have given up as easily, is what I
Yeah.
think. But
I just posted a meme yesterday. It's one that says absolutely no one, and it says the old lady from Titanic. It's like, let me tell you the story about this poor guy that I fucked on a cruise.
No, yeah, I hate Rose.
dude, like I'm so glad the three of us agree because
She's
like
a floozy.
I was like an 8-year-old that's like so she can't get over like a booty call of the past where she like selfishly killed him.
Her fiance was way better than Jack. So
I mean, he seemed like kind of an ass.
no, I mean he was an upstanding person.
I mean, he had a job, if that's what you're talking about. But
I need to rewatch this so I can really form my opinions.
Pop
But
Culture
like,
Crisis watches some
I'm not
Titanic.
over it. Titanic edition, please.
That-
Because
Oh.
she was such a floozy.
That's a good one.
The my favorite was the other one that I saw the other day. It was like I was talking to friends like so she just posed naked for Jack. It's like today it would be like it'd be like photograph me like one of your OnlyFans girls.
yeah,
That would be
literally equivalent. Yeah.
that would be the modern day retelling of Jack and Rose. So thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.